Well, you guys, 3 million students across the country struggle to keep up with their schoolwork over something many of us consider to be a basic necessity, the internet.
In most classrooms, access to laptops and the internet is ubiquitous, but an estimated 17% of students have no access to computers at home, and 18% are without access to broadband internet. The divide is part of what is being called the homework gap. Students end up going to libraries or parking lots to get their work done. Some even try to do it on their phones. According to the Associated Press, the issue disproportionately affects low-income students, students of color, and those in rural areas. The divide impacts Georgians, too. During his campaign, Governor Brian Kemp said rural Georgians had been left behind in the digital divide, with 25% of rural residents without access to high-speed internet. Kemp made a move to change that in April, signing legislation to expand internet access to rural areas, saying it will boost economic development and improve quality of life for the region.
Now, that new legislation could hit some roadblocks, though. The rewiring expansion could cost an estimated $1 billion, which is not currently in the budget for lawmakers.